Hey everybody, it's been a while since I made any kind of training video. I do have a couple of product reviews coming up, but it's been a crazy week. I had guests earlier in the week, and it's the end of the Summer 2 session. I am a teacher, so been busy wrapping that up, and so haven't worked out in a couple days, and my aunt passed away, so we've got a funeral coming up this weekend, and so I've got guests coming in from out of town. I gotta make some trips back and forth to the airport. I've got guests in my home. Busy week, so just saying, you know, life gets in the way, and so I haven't worked out as much as I've wanted to this past week, and I know I'm not going to get a chance to this weekend, so today is just going to be every total body compound exercise that I've got. So I'm going to do everything I've got, everything in the bag of tricks. So start off with some chin-ups, which again, I can't do chin-ups, I'm just going to do negatives. Chin-ups, bench press, some squats and deadlift, so those four, and then I don't know, I may try and do some overhead, we'll see. So without further ado, this is my workout for the day. So I'm cramming. This is like when students don't study and the final exam is tomorrow morning, and so they just start going on caffeine and Adderall, and they try and cram it all in at the last minute, and that's basically what I'm doing here now, is some fitness cramming. So start off with some negatives on the chin-ups. Ordinarily I do a lot more than this for lats, but I'm short on time, so I just did negatives, and even though this looks ridiculous, I am just horrible, but even though this looks ridiculous, this is a lot of progress. I couldn't do a negative when I started doing this 100 days ago. So here, you know, they're not great negatives, but they are negatives. All right, so here I am with work sets, just knocking them out. I did barbell most recently on bench, so I try and switch it up, and half the time do barbell and half the time do dumbbell. These are the brand new Rogue 65s that I bought, which are a little less than 65 pounds, unlike my cap barbell stuff, which is usually a little bit more than the nominal weight. So trying to knock them out, just doing flat bench. The idea here being that I'm just trying to maintain what I've got. I'm not going to gain much by doing a workout like this, although honestly I've heard about people doing like full body workouts like this every day. This workout just killed me. This was a lot of work. I don't like to do this many reps in one day. So again, here I am, 65 pounds. It felt pretty good. After my first set, I tried to go to sets of 8. So I feel like with 65, I can go with a more hypertrophy type set. I have trouble saying that word, hypertrophy type set, and going with 8s rather than maybe 4s or 5s, which I would do with 70s, and I've done that on previous videos. So trying to hit 3 sets, 3 main sets. So I did 1 short set and then 3 main sets on the bench, and that was what my theme was supposed to be for today, was 3 sets. And it is just insanely hot. You'll see my shirt gets drenched with sweat. About 10% of that is from the exercise, and 90% of it's because it is just like hot as Florida up here in Michigan right now. I do not know what's up with this. If we're going to get these Florida summers, the least they could do is give us Florida winters. I mean, Michigan and Ohio are like getting the worst of everything these days. It's crazy. So hey, what are you going to do? All right, so last set. Everything felt pretty strong. I feel like these 65s, I waited a long time to get them. I really needed them. This is exactly the weight I should be pushing around if I want to do a little bit longer set. So probably as I'm finishing up this set, I'm dreading that squats are coming next. It's with no joy that I say now it's time for squats. These are my squat shoes. There are many like them, but this pair is mine. These are my knee sleeves. There are many like them, but I forgot to put them on before my squat shoes. And actually, squats were the last thing I did, so I wanted to do 3 sets, and I don't know if it's the heat or what, but I just lost the ability to count here. So actually, that's a 135 set, so no wonder. So I'm warming up here with 135. Looks like I'm not hitting depth. Actually, I'm pretty hard on myself with this, but I am actually hitting depth. You can see that because of the angle of the camera. It looks like I'm not, so maybe in the future when I do these I'll put a second camera catching the side view. Knees are tracking okay. Almost everything in here could be improved on, but you'll notice these are squat shoes. I wasn't squatting with squat shoes before. These are taking a little getting used to. I do absolutely like them though. they are allowing me to get a little bit lower, but it changes the way everything feels. So I'm not thinking that I'm as low as I am. And I tried putting up these cheap, like little Kmart mirrors all over my gym. You'll see me consulting them every now and then, but all of the way that my body feels is a little bit different. So there for sure, like I'm hitting depth there. It just doesn't look like it because the camera is mounted up high. So it's going to get the top view of my thighs as I go down. So knees, again, tracking okay. I've got the one knee sleeve on my right knee, it looks like, that is a little crooked. So that is the knee that is better. The one, my left knee is the one that gives me trouble. And there was a couple reps here where I felt it, but for the most part, it feels pretty strong. So here I've got 2 wheels per, and it feels pretty good. It's different with these squat shoes. You can tell, like, with squatting barefoot, I have pretty good ankle mobility, but it was almost like I was using my leverages. Here I'm using my muscles, so I can really feel myself powering through the squats with my quads with these new squat shoes. And I am going to do a review on them. These are the Nike Romoleos, which based on the colors here, I think is Spanish for gringo wants obnoxious looking shoes. So yeah, it's funny, like I can power through that. If I were barefoot and I got down that low and got stuck, then I was dumping the bar into the pin and pipes. But here you use more muscle. It's like weird. Now the other thing is when I was pushing them up with leverage, it kind of went faster. So, and I think I did lose count. I wanted to do 3 sets of squats, and I think I did more. I think I ended up doing 4, which on a day like this, with all the other things I was doing, and as hot as it was and everything else going on, that was not the greatest idea. I'm really laboring here. So there we go. Get through it, Jimmy. All right, and just pushing through. So super warm. I got everything going on. At least I'm not my poor son who's doing like football 2-a-days in this horrible heat, and his coach is not having a morning session. His high school does 2-a-days in the afternoon and evening. I don't know if they're just trying to maximize the amount of heat that the kids get or what. I think it's because the assistant coaches have day jobs. So finally, after doing, I think, more sets than I wanted, I'm done. Here I'm doing deadlift, and this is why it's good to video myself once in a while. I think maybe my hips are a little high when I start, and my back is not quite as flat as I'd like it to be. So again, even with the mirrors, I don't see this stuff until I do a video. So maybe next time my hips just a tad lower, but they're not rising first. But I feel like there should be a little bit more of a leg press to start the motion. And my deadlifts they feel like they're getting stronger. I'm not trying to do max deadlifts so much anymore because I really don't want to get hurt. I sort of had a near-death experience where I put a lot of weight on the bar and I let the bar get away from my body. I wasn't pulling it in toward my shins and thighs. And maybe strained a muscle. I mean, it didn't hurt. It felt good within a few days, but I was all right. And then lastly, everybody's favorite, these what do they call them? Vertical pulls for shoulder. Trying to hit these medial shoulders so that I can get capped shoulders like a roided out CrossFit girl. And these are just weird, like I've said before, shoulder exercises suck because your shoulders don't stop working. They just start burning like crazy. It's just makes no sense. They just burn. That's what shoulders do when they're sick of you. So I hate these things. You can see it on my face. I'm just laboring here, but at least I'm indoors. I'm not out in that sunroom. My workout room is in a sunroom because that's the only place with a concrete floor and that I'm not using for some other purpose. I'd kind of like to put it in my basement, but I've got like this pergo floor down there. I don't think it would hold up very well. So here, just hating my life, regretting my life decisions, and wishing that I had done pretty much everything differently because whatever led to this was just not a good set of choices for me. So, I hate this. I just hate shoulder. So, and this one, like I'm already making the face before I even do any exercises. So you can just see that I hate this. So anyway, wrapping it up, we're just about done. This was everything in one workout. I usually try not to do this. I don't like my workouts to be this long, but like I explained, life got in the way. So everybody have an awesome workout, and we will see you again soon.
Just a little more crying and it's all over.